Hey there, happy holidays. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Christmas day.
Merry Christmas to you too.
So, we're going to be doing something a little bit different today, a little bit powerful.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be taking a deep dive into the Mahavidyas.
Oh, wow.
Do you know anything about the Mahavidyas?
I know a little bit.
Hmm.
I know that they are the 10 wisdom goddesses in Hindu tradition, but I'm ready to learn more.
Yeah, and I am too, because, I know a little bit as well, but we have a Wikipedia excerpt here, and so we're just going to kind of go through it and see what we can uncover together.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, and believe me, it gets pretty wild.
I'll bet.
So yeah, we're going to get into who these figures are, what they represent, and why they even matter, like in the grand scheme of things.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and there's like severed heads and all kinds of crazy powers and stuff like that. So
Oh, my gosh.
yeah, so let's jump right in.
Okay.
The first one is Kali.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure you've heard of Kali.
Yes, the name rings a bell.
And the Wikipedia article gives us a pretty vivid picture of her. She's described as black as night, with 3 eyes, fangs, a dramatic tongue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Intense.
Decked out in tiger skins, skulls,
Oh, my.
and flowers.
Oh, okay. So there's a little bit of beauty in there too.
Yeah. Wouldn't you know it, right?
Interesting.
And then she's usually wielding a sword and holding a bowl of dripping blood.
Wow, so much imagery there.
Yeah, not exactly your typical holiday visitor, right?
No, definitely not the typical Christmas morning visitor.
Uh-huh.
But what's really fascinating about Kali is that she's not just about destruction.
Right.
She represents the force of time and change, that constant cycle of creation and destruction that's happening all around us.
That's a good point.
So in a way, she's the ultimate symbol of transformation.
Okay, so maybe a little terrifying.
Yeah.
But also kind of inspiring when you think about it that way.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, next on the list is Tara.
Okay.
Now, Tara is all about guidance and protection.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
interesting.
In fact, the Wikipedia article even mentions that she offers the ultimate knowledge that leads to liberation.
Wow.
And get this, the sun's energy is said to come from her.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, right.
I find it really interesting how Tara's role as a guide is similar to bodhisattvas in Buddhism.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
They're both these beings of immense wisdom and compassion who choose to stay in the world and guide others towards enlightenment, even though they could achieve it themselves.
That's a really cool connection.
Yeah, it shows how these ideas can really transcend any specific traditions.
Absolutely. So appearance-wise, Tara is usually depicted as light blue
Okay.
with a snake around her neck.
Oh, wow.
And she's often shown standing on Shiva.
Whoa.
Talk about a power pose.
Yeah, that's a statement.
Right.
It really speaks to her mastery over the forces of the universe, even those as powerful as Shiva.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so we've had the fierce, and now we've got the wise. Now we're going to get to the beautiful.
Oh, yeah, bring on the beauty.
Tripura Sundari. Her name literally means beauty of the 3 worlds.
Wow.
And she's considered the embodiment of divine beauty and spiritual liberation.
So both the inner and the outer.
Yeah, exactly. And Tripura Sundari holds a special place in the Srikula system of Shaktism.
No, it's that.
So that's a branch of Hinduism that emphasizes the worship of the goddess as the ultimate reality.
Oh, okay. So it really puts the goddess front and center.
Exactly. And her name reflects her all-encompassing nature reigning over all the 3 worlds, like the physical, astral, and celestial realms.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and her depiction is definitely more serene than the first 2.
Okay.
Wikipedia describes her as having a molten gold complexion, and she's adorned with beautiful clothes and jewels.
Well, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, definitely a more glamorous image.
Yeah, it's a reminder that the divine feminine encompasses a vast spectrum, from the fierce and transformative to the serene and beautiful.
Absolutely. All right, so we've got the destroyer, the guide, and the beauty.
What could be next?
What's next is Bhuvaneshwari.
Okay.
Her name means world mother. And guess what? Her body is said to contain the entire cosmos.
Wow, right? That's a pretty big body.
That is a pretty big body.
But that's not just a fantastical image. It reflects a core concept in Shaktism that the goddess embodies the entire universe, highlighting the interconnectedness of all things.
Right. And it really kind of blows your mind a little bit when you think about it.
It does.
So visually, she's similar to Tripura Sundari.
Oh, okay.
Golden complexion, calm demeanor, and adorned with ornaments.
Beautiful.
Yeah. No skulls this time, though.
No skulls. Maybe because in this form, she represents the creative force of the universe, the mother from which everything arises.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now our 5th Mahavidya is Paravi, and she is known for her fierce and powerful nature.
Okay.
She's kind of like the feminine counterpart to the god Parava.
Gotcha.
So Paravi embodies the destructive aspects of Shakti,
Oh, right.
that divine feminine energy that fuels the universe.
So she's got a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, she does. And her appearance definitely reflects that fiery red complexion, furious eyes, matted hair horns, tusks,
Oh, man.
and a belt of severed hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
You weren't kidding about the severed body parts.
They don't shy away from that kind of imagery.
No, they don't.
But it's powerful.
It
It is powerful. It's like the Mahavidyas are really challenging us to confront the full spectrum of cosmic power,
Yeah.
even those aspects that we might find uncomfortable or disturbing.
Right. They're not just these benevolent deities,
Right.
but they are forces of nature that encompass both creation and destruction.
Yeah, they definitely don't fit that stereotypical image of gentle goddesses.
No, they definitely don't.
So we've met Kalitara, Tripura, Sundari, Bhuvaneshwari, and Paravi.
Wow, what a lineup.
5 down, 5 to go. And trust me, things get even more intriguing from here.
Wow, I can't wait.
Yeah.
You ready for more of these powerful goddesses?
Absolutely. Let's keep going.
All right, so each one, like I said, offers this really unique glimpse into these mysteries of the divine feminine.
Right. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Now we are getting to one that might give you chills.
Oh, boy.
Chinnamasta.
Chinnamasta?
Her name means she whose head is severed.
Oh, wow.
And, well, the imagery is exactly as dramatic as it sounds.
I got it.
Chinnamasta is a truly striking figure, and her self-decapitation, that's a pretty powerful symbol, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's a powerful symbol. It embodies this idea of self-sacrifice and this transcendence of limitations.
Yeah, and the Wikipedia excerpt describes her with 3 blazing eyes and a crown, and she's holding her own severed head
Oh, my gosh.
while standing on a couple that's locked in an embrace.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, right? It's definitely not an image you forget easily.
It's not for the faint of heart.
Not at all, but it's all about symbolism, though, right?
Right.
The couple beneath her represents the union of opposites,
Right.
while Chinnamasta herself symbolizes going beyond that duality.
Oh, I see.
She challenges us to think about life and death, creation and destruction, not as separate forces, but as parts of a greater whole.
That's deep.
Yeah, there's definitely layers upon layers of meaning there.
Yeah, a lot to unpack.
So, from the intensity of Chinnamasta, let's maybe shift gears a bit
Okay.
to Dhumavati, the widow goddess.
Okay.
Now she's associated with some pretty challenging aspects of life.
Oh, how so?
Well, Dhumavati represents those parts of existence that we often shy away from,
Oh, okay.
loss, sorrow, disillusionment.
Right. Those are the tough ones.
Yeah. But she also embodies this potential for spiritual growth that can come from facing those difficult experiences.
That's a good point.
It's like you got to go through the mud to get to the lotus flower or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, her description in Wikipedia isn't exactly cheerful.
Okay.
Wrinkled skin, missing teeth, gray hair, bloodshot eyes.
Oh, my.
She embodies this kind of frightening mien that combines anger, misery, and exhaustion.
It's like all the bad feelings rolled into one.
Right, and she's even riding in a chariot without horses bearing a crow emblem.
That's not a very hopeful image.
Not exactly a picture of joy and abundance, right?
No, not really.
But that's what makes her so compelling, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's challenging our ideas of what a goddess should be.
Totally.
Like, she's reminding us that the divine feminine isn't always about beauty and nurturing.
Right.
It also encompasses those raw, untamed forces that can be difficult to confront.
So even in the midst of darkness and hardship, there's a divine presence.
It's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to think about those tough times we all go through.
Definitely.
Okay, let's move on to a goddess who might offer a bit more, action. Bagalamukhi.
Bagalamukhi.
She's the one who can paralyze her enemies.
Whoa.
Her name literally means she who has a crane's face.
A crane's face.
Yeah. So Bagalamukhi's power lies in stillness and precision.
Okay.
She's associated with the power of speech and the ability to control one's adversaries through words.
Oh, interesting.
Think about it. Sometimes silence or carefully chosen words can be far more effective than any physical force.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And the crane imagery emphasizes that sense of focus and deliberate action.
It does.
So she's usually depicted with a golden complexion, pulling on a demon's tongue with one hand and holding a club in the other.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pretty powerful image of using your voice and inner strength to overcome challenges.
Yeah, I like that. All right, 2 more to go.
Awesome.
Next up is Matangi, the Tantric Saraswati.
The Tantric Saraswati.
Now, we usually think of Saraswati as the goddess of knowledge and the arts.
Right.
So how does she fit in with this whole Mahavidya concept?
Well, you see, Matangi is fascinating because she represents both inner and outer knowledge.
Okay.
She embodies the power of sound music and language, which are all ways we express ourselves and connect with the world.
Right.
But she also represents as a deeper intuitive knowledge that comes from spiritual practice and introspection. It's
Yeah.
about finding that balance between external expression and inner understanding.
Okay, so Wikipedia mentions that she's often depicted as emerald green,
Beautiful.
playing the veena and holding a skull and a sword.
A skull and a sword.
Uh-huh. And here's an interesting tidbit.
She's said to be the prime minister of Lalita, who we met earlier as Tripura Sundari.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Matangi's connection to Lalita shows how these goddesses aren't isolated figures.
Right.
They relate to each other,
Yeah.
forming this complex web of energies and attributes.
Interesting.
So in this case, Matangi represents the active, expressive side of the divine feminine,
Uh-huh.
complementing Lolita's more contemplative and serene nature.
Right, so they work together.
Yeah, like two sides of the same coin.
I like that.
Okay, last but not least, we have Kamala, the Tantric Lakshmi.
Tantric Lakshmi. Now that's interesting.
Right, because we usually associate Lakshmi with wealth and prosperity.
Right, exactly.
So how does that translate in the context of the Mahavidyas?
Well, Kamala takes the concept of wealth to a deeper level.
Okay.
She embodies spiritual abundance.
Spiritual abundance.
The kind that comes from realizing your true nature and connecting with your inner potential.
Oh, okay.
Think about it. True wealth isn't just about material possessions.
Mhm.
It's about inner peace, wisdom, and a sense of fulfillment that goes beyond the material world.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is a much richer understanding of abundance.
Yeah, it's interesting because her description is pretty similar to Lakshmi's,
Oh,
golden complexion, beautiful, adorned with lotuses.
lovely.
And of course, she's often depicted seated on a lotus,
Of course.
which symbolizes purity and spiritual growth.
Right, and that lotus imagery is so powerful.
Yeah, why is that?
Because just like the lotus flower rises from muddy waters to blossom in the sunlight, Kamala represents the potential for us to rise above challenges and reach a state of spiritual flourishing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is.
So we've met all 10 Mahavidyas,
Wow.
from the fierce and transformative to the serene and abundant,
Quite a range.
right? They offer such a rich tapestry of archetypes and symbolism.
It's really amazing.
But wait, there's one more thing mentioned in this Wikipedia excerpt.
Okay, what's that?
All 10 Mahavidyas are said to reside in Manadvipa.
Manadvipa.
What's the significance of that?
Well, Manadvipa is a mythical island. It's like
Huh.
this paradise realm where the goddess resides and where her devotees aspire to reach.
Oh, wow.
So it's a symbol of spiritual liberation,
Okay.
a place beyond suffering and duality. Think of it as a metaphor for that state of inner peace and enlightenment that we're all striving for.
That sounds pretty amazing.
It does.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Huh.
The Wikipedia article mentions 2 different ways these Mahavidyas are linked to Vishnu's 10 avatars, the Dashavatara.
Okay.
Yeah, this highlights the interplay between different Hindu traditions
Right.
and how these concepts have evolved over time.
Mhm.
One text, the Todala Tantra, directly connects each Mahavidya with a specific avatar.
So like a one-to-one correspondence.
Exactly.
Look.
For example, Kali is linked with Krishnatara, with Matsya, and so on.
Okay.
But another text, the Gyati Gaiha Tantra, offers a different perspective.
Oh, how so?
According to this text, the Mahavidyas are the source from which Vishnu's avatars arise.
Oh, wow.
So instead of a one-to-one correspondence, it's more like the Mahavidyas are this wellspring of divine power
Uh-huh.
that manifests in these different forms.
So they're like the source.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see these different interpretations.
It really is.
And it really invites us to explore these complex relationships between these deities
Yeah.
and the concepts they represent.
It's a reminder that mythology isn't static.
Right.
It's a living tradition that continues to evolve and offer new insights.
Yeah, this has been an incredible journey through the world of the Mahavidyas.
It really has.
We've covered a lot of ground, and I'm sure it's given you a lot to think about.
Oh, absolutely. Tons.
Yeah, it really has. It's
Yeah.
like we've been given these 10 different lenses
Yeah.
to view the divine feminine,
That's a good way to put it.
each one revealing a unique aspect of its power and mystery.
Absolutely.
But how does all this relate to us? I mean, we don't live on some mythical island, and we're not about to paralyze anyone with a single word.
True. But the beauty of these Mahavidyas is that they're not just these distant figures in mythology.
Okay.
They represent energies and potentials that exist within us all.
Oh.
It's about recognizing those aspects within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
the fierce strength of Kali, the guiding wisdom of Tara, the creative power of Bhuvaneshwari,
Yeah.
and understanding how they shape our own experiences.
So you're saying we each have a little bit of each Mahavidya inside of us?
In a way, yes.
That's a pretty powerful thought.
It is.
So which one resonated most with you?
That's a tough one.
Was it Kali's unapologetic power, Tara's compassionate guidance, or maybe Dumavati's reminder that even darkness can be a catalyst for transformation?
I think they all offer something valuable.
Yeah.
Each Mahavidya offers this unique perspective, challenging us to expand our understanding of what it means to be human.
Right.
They remind us that life encompasses this whole spectrum of experiences,
Yeah.
and that even the aspects we might consider negative can hold the potential for growth and wisdom.
That's a good point. This deep dive has been quite a journey.
It has.
We've explored everything from severed heads to cosmic landscapes, and I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
There's always more to learn.
It makes me wonder what other stories and myths surround these incredible figures.
Oh, there are tons.
Yeah.
And how might we apply their symbolism to our own lives?
Yeah.
Perhaps Kali's embrace of change can inspire us to face our own transformations with courage.
Yeah.
Or maybe Tara's compassion can guide us toward a deeper understanding and empathy in our relationships.
It's really amazing how much wisdom can be found in these ancient traditions.
It is.
Well, thanks for joining us on this Christmas Day deep dive into the world of the Mahavidyas.
Happy to be here.
We hope you've unwrapped some intriguing new knowledge today and maybe even a bit of inspiration for your own journey.
Little holiday gift of wisdom.
Exactly. Until next time, keep exploring and remember there's a whole universe of wisdom waiting to be discovered, even on Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.